Hello, Glyn here. I want to talk to you today about apologies. Do you know that a lot of people think that you don't need to apologise? A recent client mentioned that if you have a solid relationship, they will know you, they will know what you mean, and they probably won't worry about what you've said or done. So I disagree with that, and I really think that I have three reasons that I want to let you know that are three tips and some things you can do about it as well. So you might also be worried that if there is something that you need to apologise for, the very fact that you're actually bringing it into the conversation, you're bringing up that bad thing again, and it won't go well. My experience tells me completely the opposite. And it does take courage. So I want to applaud you and encourage you to have the courage to do this. So I have an important tip, as I mentioned, about apologising and three reasons that you need to start apologising if you're not yet. So the first thing is that we are hardwired for reciprocity. Now, I thought it was mostly women. Sorry, getting a little bit sexy there with my clothing. I thought it was mostly women. However, Robert Cialdini, in his book, Influence, talks about a whole section on it, talks about reciprocity and how it can last years and years. And people don't forget the generosity of others. And an apology, after all, is a gift to both people. And I'll talk about why it's a gift to both people in a moment. Because you're probably thinking that it's pretty difficult for the person apologising, and it is, but it's worth the courage, it's worth stepping up. So the second reason to apologise is to let people know they matter. The other person can relax. And I can hear you saying, yeah, but how does that benefit me? So I'll talk a little bit more about that later as well. But the other person will know that they matter. And knowing that we matter is one of the most important human needs. So after, of course, the basic human needs of shelter, food, air, and water, then comes things like, do I know that I matter? And it's really important. So listen up, here's where the other person comes into the benefit. I call this opportunity. So there's a greater connection occurs after we make up, because ultimately what this means is that potentially the more you disagree, the better your connection can get. So for those of you who are conflict averse, this is something to pay attention to just note how it is when you apologise and what's coming up for you when you do. So how do we do this? Well, there's some general tips that I have. So just make sure that your apology isn't coming, or you're not going into the fray, stepping into the fray with, I should be apologising, or they want to hear it, so I should get in there and do it and get it over and done with. Because that won't come across as well as when it's genuine. And be clear on what you're apologising for. People want to hear, well, what exactly is it? And especially if there's some confusion and ill feeling there, people want to know exactly what it is that you're apologising for. Also, don't wait too long before you apologise, because it just becomes harder and harder. And the last thing is get support before and after. Nothing like a pre-boost before you go into that conversation and a debrief afterwards. Sometimes friends are great, and sometimes it's not really a cheer squad that you need, but someone who can be objective and impartial and not attached to the outcome between yourself and this person. So if you're concerned about how to broach a difficult topic or apologise, you can comment below with the word sorry, or you can actually get in touch with me at keystonesskills.com.au and you can book in for a free 45-minute chat. Or I can reach out to you if you're going to be commenting in the comments below. Feel free to let me know if this is helpful too, and I thank you very much for listening.